stupid things. Uh, what the? Alright. Just lurking in some streams while you queue? Yeah.
Very quick pick. And we're talking about this as we were on break. I think Buckle is the key.
Yeah, what team is Snape on, by the way, at the moment? Does anybody know? He just left, but I meant to ask him and I forgot. If somebody knows, let me know. Anyway. Okay, so we're on the spam, and they go Death Ball with Pharah. So, like, their idea, they have a Diva as well. We just need to shred Orisa Shield, put Liam on the cart. They have a Pharah, so they can't push as hard. As long as Flex just keeps the enemy Pharah out, we should be, and we just don't let the Reaper kill anything in our backline, they shouldn't be able to overwhelm anybody. He's playing for Nariki? Okay, cool. But, anyway.
For Ireland right now, they're really relying on these early pickoffs to make things happen. And so long as Buckle is doing well, Ireland is doing well.
Like, Flex is on the right side now, and I don't know why. And then we have, like Pure is just behind Orisa Shield, and so is Buckle, which doesn't really make any sense. Like, we need to have one of the two, at least on, like, this high ground or this high ground. But instead we have 3 players behind Shield. Like, Scally is behind Shield, and, like, the payload is almost underneath us, so Liam hasn't dropped to contest the corner yet, because he doesn't want to get run over, and Halfy Cool is just keeping Flex out of the fight, so Flex hasn't done any damage yet.
Iceland is pressuring the cart right now. Looking to set up their engagement.
Like, look at where that card is, right? We either need to choose to play this corner or the next corner, and if we're playing the next corner, we don't want to be on this high ground. So if Liam's going to let the cart go underneath him, then we're kind of throwing, unless our whole team repositions to, like, the courtyard area to take wider angles.
The spam coming out onto the shield for Liam. They're trying to break it, trying to remove those tanks.
So like, Flex isn't in a terrible spot at the moment. He's like, what is the quality? Who like uploaded this? Come on. Like, that's just a blur, just a blob. I can't even imagine what it looks like on my stream. Anyway.
They can move forward.
Meanwhile,
Twitch quality? Unlucky.
Because of the Hanzo threat.
Yeah, so like, now Liam drops, right? But like, this is a bad drop because, like, look at where Buckle is, look at where Pure is. Pure is like also right up here. So when Liam drops here, nothing. Scally is also out of LOS. So Liam dropping now, instead of dropping to contest this payload where Scally could like heal him from there, it's just kind of.
So then they can move forward.
It was like too late to drop for the first corner and too early to drop for the second one, you know? We need to like reposition. So he drops and instantly dies. Because the Reaper and the Orisa and the Diva were just waiting for that.
Still keeping the cart moving forward, and Liam's down, so it's a little bit dicey here for Ireland.
And like, Flex is going in, taking the 1v1, Diva comes back to help, but like, he doesn't even, like, again, like, he doesn't even need to take the 1v1 that hard. He just needs to keep the Pharah off of our backline, keep her to the outside, and then just keep farming their shields, farming their tanks, stopping them from going that aggressive on the payload.
Committing on the half a goal, but not going to be getting as much support as he might like.
Like, our positioning here is all over the place. Like, where's the rest of our team? Like, how many of us actually died? Was it just Liam? Like, where did we all go? So like, now we're repositioning, but it's like out of sync with what Liam was doing. So that's why, like, they should never have been allowed to push the cart this far uncontested. Liam tried to contest, but nobody was in LOS when he actually did.
Or no Reaper to pressure Pure Irish now. Pure Irish should be a lot more aggressive looking for these flanks.
Iceland though.
That was a nice movement by Mute to get away. I think he gets away.
Still gonna move in. They're gonna open the call.
Yeah, he gets down to 1 HP and he gets away. Use in-game viewer too. Yeah, I'll use the in-game viewer if there's something that I want to see. This is the first time like I heard the casters though, so I want to like be able to hear the casters too.
Coalescence, keep the payload moving forward. The Dragon Strike comes out, but not really on target. Makes a little bit of space for the payload. That's it.
Like, now, like, looking at our positioning now, it's not horrible. Like, it looks like we're basically setting up for like the last ditch effort contest where Liam just throws himself on. It's just like, the thing is, I would have preferred if we could have got out and like Flex could push up, Buckle could play on the high ground, and we play like like crossfires in the courtyard area instead of having to play like behind on the bridge and just trying to funnel all of our damage into the choke. Because as Liam is contesting, there could be like a Reaper in one doorway and Diva in the other, or something like that. And it's really difficult after Liam's shield gets broken and after his fortify disappears for him to constantly contest the payload. He will have Scally heals, but like if the Reaper is on him and we can't force him out because we can't get in to get an LOS, then it's gonna be a problem. I gotta go to work. Be right back. Okay. Uh, enjoy, I guess. I'll talk to you later.
Iceland still in a good position to keep the pressure. Pure Irish, meanwhile, looking for the hook off the
Yeah, Flex got rolled.
hit. Iceland still in a good position to keep the pressure.
That was a
Pure
nice
Irish,
flick.
meanwhile, looking for the hook off the flank.
Ooh.
Cole takes down Flex G. Two rockets directly to the gut.
Happy, cool, nice shot, Happy. Iceland now continue to move forward.
He gets mutes as well. Damn,
Finding
that was a nice play. So like we were set up to like contest, but it revolves around this not happening. Like again, like Flex doesn't need to take the 1v1. He just needs to stop Happy from. He needs to like shut Happy out, so like keep Happy on the outside and then farm the enemy team. But his positioning isn't great. Like he has to get over these rooftops if he wants to do that, and the only way he does that is by like pressing this fight and forcing Happy Cool out. So I understand why he pushed, but he just got kind of destroyed.
Takes down Flex G. Two rockets directly to the gut.
Happy, cool, nice shot, Happy. Iceland now continue to move forward, finding mutes with the fadeaway rocket too. Happy getting a lot of value right now on the Pharah. Finding Liam. Happy Cool says, I can play DPS. I am not just an off.
So this is what I mean about like why it's not good to contest here. It's like look at where the Reaper is playing, like behind the payload in the rooms. The same with their Orisa and their Diva, and for us to contest with one shield is really difficult.
Right now on the Pharah, finding Liam.
And so Liam
Happy
Pure
Cool
just
says,
get farmed.
I can play DPS. I am not just an off tank player.
What year is it? I feel like I've been transported back to 2016, the era of DPS Happy before he was on Diva for really the period right after. But now, Happy back in his DPS form.
Iceland moving forward here very aggressively. You see Flux G gonna take that mega pack. Might be just staggering himself. Needs to get out of here. Needs to reuse that concussion blast. Yep, gonna use that. Get out on the. And Iceland now still moving the cart forward. Only one on cart though, so they're not moving particularly fast, but they're gonna use that to take the position.
Okay.
Sentry moving up to the high
Second
ground.
point, most important area of the map is the staircase, so it's okay to allow them to push the payload all the way up. As long as we have control over the staircase and we have control over the rooftops, we'll be doing fine. Oh, this is where we need the replay viewer. I remember what happens. I think I need to close the game. Fincy's on Diva just to try to shut down Buckle and Flex G. Like, I think Sigma still would have been better, but he gets some nice Diva bombs, as we'll see in a minute. Like, he hasn't really done anything yet, other than just try to farm our tanks or whatever. But still, like, we're really just kind of hard throwing, which is why they're doing so well. World Cup. The Diva pick is just like, oh, you guys are carrying on Hanzo or carrying on Farah, then we're just gonna pick one of our heroes to just try to like completely zone that person out. But it doesn't work as well. Like Diva is really hard to run after all the nerfs that she got. So I think Diva's actually a bad pick, and we should have been able to punish, but we didn't. We didn't land enough full hooks. We didn't break Orisa shield enough, and our positioning was whack, so we couldn't even like play for that. Okay. Alright, let's skip over here. Let me go to borderless windowed so I can tab out. Oh, it already is. Cool. Alright. So, let me pause, go back to the stream.
For Iceland, they're in a good spot because now they've moved on to second as well.
Like, I don't know why Flex is playing this far out. It doesn't make sense to me because like you got to think like where like okay, what are we playing for as a team, right? So we want to stop them from getting control of the high ground. So we're going to play for this staircase. It was the same in like goats or whatever. This staircase is like the best map geometry. So like I'll show you why. if you control this staircase, I'm just gonna like use my camera to point because I can't draw on this screen. So if you control like this staircase, then you can put like your Anna back here, and she's just perfectly in cover. Nothing can touch her unless like something climbs over the wall, like a Hanzo or something, which they don't have. They have to like heavily commit to breaking down our Ana LOS. So like if once we force them onto the low ground by spamming them out of the high ground, then our Arisa can just drop and she puts her shield on this corner and she just plays slow, contesting the payload or whatever. And then everyone else like Hanzo and Roadhog can play on the high ground, or Roadhog can like play over in this like mega area, taking another off angle. And then Farah can just play on the rooftops like this, and she just like looks straight down, and she has perfect cover to her left, and the only way she gets contested by the enemy Farah is if she like if the enemy Farah flies commits over the rooftops. And as soon as that happens, then she's open to being like killed, or like you also have Ana there to support the Farah 1v1, so Ana can shoot the Farah, Roadhog can like pull hook her, or Hanzo can focus her as well. So for the enemy Farah, the attacking Farah, if they're trying to get control over the rooftops, like she has to go wide, which means she has to like leave her cover. Like the best cover for their Pharaoh would be like playing like this side of the roofs. But for her to get any value, she has to go over the rooftops, which means she's just gonna get focused down. Um, but like we don't do that. Like if you look at the VOD, we're
Well,
not
makes
we're not
makes a
fully
lot
set
of
up
sense.
yet, which makes sense. But Flex would want to just like get in here and use the cover. Like, how do you win Pharah 1v1s, right? It's like whichever Pharah is higher up in terms of like altitude has an advantage because you can close distance faster. So if you're higher than the enemy Pharah and you land a direct rocket, you can drop, right? But if you're lower than the enemy Pharah and you land a direct rocket, you can't close the distance easier to punish. Um, and also, like if you're higher up and you get directed, you can change your momentum quickly by dropping and then boostering to like throw off the enemy Farah, and you're still higher up. So you're still at the advantage that you want. You know what I mean? And then the other way you win Farah 1v1s is cover, right? So if Flex is playing around this piece of cover, and their Farah and like Half-Equal directs him, he can just drop. And that way he's just like out of LOS, so he can't get double directed. He can't get double directed. Playing out in the open like this means you can either get double directed, or you can get like focused down by pull rock, or like D.Va can like boost in or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah. So like hopefully he moves in and starts playing this
Space
cover.
to use this Diva bomb, and they don't have double
Like
shield.
you can see, like Half-Equal's positioning is so much better than Flex's at the moment. He's using cover better, and he's higher up in the air. So unless Flex like fixes his positioning, he's probably not going to win this 1v1.
They don't have Sigma. They don't have a lot of
Yeah,
ways
and
to.
now Flex has the better positioning, right? So you see the difference. Like there's like that constant mental battle and positioning battle between the two Pharahs. And obviously, like just hit two rockets forehead is important, but it's so much more difficult to hit two rockets on a Pharah who knows what she's doing, and she knows how to play positioning well. And both of these Farahs, like Flex's Farah is nuts. Like he didn't play well on the day, but his Farah is insane. And all the time in scrims, like Flex was just shitting on Half-Equal, and you can see why. Like the way he like controlled the space there and just like instantly got the upper hand in terms of positioning. Like I don't even think Half-Equal even realizes that his positioning now is not as good as it was. Or maybe he doesn't. He's 7 seconds away from boosters, which is a lot. Like that's a lot of time. So unless he like uses all of his boosters, which puts him into a predictable pattern, or all of his jet fuel, I mean, um, it puts him into like a predictable movement pattern, which means like to get back to the cover. So Flex might kill him if he tries that.
Mitigate the
We can
bomb
see what
if they're using
happens.
it properly.
Like Flex's positioning is so much better right here. They use Valk, so we should probably answer with one of our own ults.
Cool taking on Flex G again. Both Faras dancing on top.
So this is what I'm talking about, right? So our positioning here is pretty solid. Like we've taken over the staircase. They're playing low ground. As long as we stop their Reaper from coming out high ground and killing our whole team, we'll be doing fine. But I'm pretty sure their D.Va just bombs and gets a massive kill.
Meanwhile, the ground game for Iceland, they're gonna drop the self-destruct
What can you do?
right up, and R gets three! Finzi! A well
All that focus on this one area of the map, and they just bust it wide open with one ult. That's actually, they couldn't have asked for a better fight. Yeah, we can go look at, so who died? Liam died, Flex died, and Mutes died, and like we can go look at the deaths in the World Cup viewer. Um, this should never happen. Like we should know that they have bomb. Like The only people who should ever be at risk of dying to the Diva Bomb should be Flex and Mutes, right? But as long as we scout that they have Bomb, then it shouldn't be an issue. So like Flex and Mute should have scouted. Okay, they have Diva Bomb, right? So how does a Pharah play if they have Diva Bomb? You know where you need to go. You know where your cover is, and the same with Mutes. So like Mutes can like play lower to the ground or play higher up, or know Scally's positioning so he can boost the Scally and stay safe. You know what I mean? But let's see how this goes. There's the bomb. Oh my, no, no, no. Okay, let's go 11 seconds. So the bomb goes off right here, right? So this is like everyone just as they died. So Flex, I think like Flex missed his concussion. So if we go back. So here's the bomb. He sees it coming. And his booster just didn't. Did he just miss it or what? I don't think his booster actually connected. No, it did. It just didn't push him as far as he probably wanted it to go. And then Mutes died. What? How did Mutes die? Bomb goes off. He gets kind of caught by surprise, tries to drop. Doesn't drop fast enough. So, like, Flex and Mutes just didn't seem ready. Like, Flex seemed ready, but he just messed up positioning. And then Mutes just didn't seem ready. He didn't drop fast enough. And then Liam, I'm pretty sure, like, tries to... Like, Liam's on the high ground at the moment. That's kind of a weird shield. He drops as soon as the bomb goes off, which is unfortunate. Uses his shield, so he can just use his... Okay, use his shield. I was gonna say just use his shield to avoid the bomb, which is what he tried to do, but I just don't think he didn't actually... I don't think he knew exactly where the bomb... Like, if he had gone inside instead of doing that, if he had, like, played in here, he would have lived. Which is super unfortunate. Where's the music? Let's play some music while we're doing this. Quietly. That'll do. Okay. Back to the VOD.
Executed bomb takes down the main tank at the far mercy of the boots.
And what did I say, ZP? That moved the second. They don't have double shield. They're playing very slow. They don't have a Lucio to get away from it. And Finzi just lines it up, knocks it down. That's 3. That's the fight already. And sure, Pure Irish is going to get that pick on the Happy, but it's going to get rezzed. And now Iceland going to coast on here in 2 seconds. A very quick time from Rialto getting through both first and second. And the best part is, they've kept most of their ult banks alive. It's just only the Valkyrie, only the Bomb that's been used.
This is very tough for Ireland.
Like, now we're not looking that good now going into third. We don't have that many ults. They have a bunch of ults, and Deathball is so much better on third point. Like, really, like 5 minutes, like, that's crazy. That's so bad. Like, first and second point they were probably like our best map for this comp, and we just threw away both points like it was nothing.
Need to have a good defense, but Iceland, they've just been...
But still, we have time to get an early setup, so at least we should be able to get 2 fights out of this if we play it properly. We can play in the open area, and it's the same win conditions, right? Flex shuts out Haffy, uses the rooftop cover to not let him in, and then when they come in, Liam plays the payload, stalls the cart, fortifies, baits the aggression, and then we just focus the Reaper to stop him from getting value, and it should be easy wins.
Steamrolling through on Rialto here so far, and it might not be stopping. They're gonna drop down.
Like we're not playing any cover or anything. It's weird. Like, we're just out in the open.
Supercharger, half a cool.
And Pure just insta-dies because of it. Like, we're just sitting here where we could have, like, maybe played this corner. Pure could have played the cover on the right. I don't know. We're just sitting out in the open, so it's a free kill for them.
Over the top.
And like I said, we need to track the Reaper, and he just walks in with the Coalescence and just kills Pure.
Barrage ready, Sindri finds Pure Irish. Up one is Iceland, and they're gonna move in even deeper, and they're hunted down Flex G.
Nice kill from Buckle. Kills Happy Cool.
Buckle,
So that's what I mean, right? This is when we're talking about Pharah 1v1s. This is the risk that the enemy Pharah... This is like why we've decided to set up on certain positioning, because As soon as he comes over his cover into our side of the map, hey Jelly, welcome back. As soon as he comes over the rooftop and enters his side of the map, like Flex's side of the map, this should happen. And like Flex has his own job to do in terms of like shooting the ground or fighting the Pharah, so it's up to Mutes, his mercy, to be the scout. So like Mutes has to call to Flex and to his team whenever Happy Cool does something that's aggressive, and I think he did, which is why he dies so quickly. So you can see he comes in, he boosts in, and instantly focus down. So like this is what we did get really good at, but like we played so bad, but like you can kind of see like the moments. We have like certain moments where we do really good things like this moment. And like this is just a call, I think it comes from Mutes, it's just a call to focus the Pharah, and Buckle is on it instantly. It was so good.
Buckle finding Happy though, using those doors.
Okay, not scouting the Reaper, this could be trouble.
Going for the flanker.
Nope, Scally's on it, right? So Scally and Buckle were popping off today, like as like the duo on the ground. They were doing so well, working well. Like Scally is just like on Reaper's case all the time, and then Buckle was like shooting the right things all the time as well. And like we had it, like I said, like we had our moments. It's kind of unfortunate that our good things were like overshadowed by the bad ones, you know.
Trying to move, but Scally watching them in return. Their push has been stopped, right?
We get 3, but they res the Pharah. All we have to do now is stabilize, don't die, like play to live. So use this shield, break this shield, and then focus down their tanks, and they can't push. We drag in, just focus down the tanks, break the shield. Yeah, they're getting like forced back. Nice pull, nice hook. Easy, like really good stabilize. And then we just play the cover again. Ooh. You can see Flex is like finally starting to get back into his form after the first 2 points. He's playing the cover really well. He's keeping Happy out.
I imagine they don't want to have to use too much in the next fight, ZP. They want to try to hold it on for the fight afterwards. So it's really going to be only trying to use that supercharger for Liam if possible.
It's not good enough for Ireland to win this next fight. They need to win.
He's still playing the inside, still keeping Happy Cool out.
Taking the fight to Happy Cool once more. Happy is more than willing to take these.
Missing a lot of rockets. So like normally, like if we weren't having such a bad day, or if the maybe I don't know, maybe the setup was a little bit scuffed or whatever, but I remember specifically sitting next to Andy when we were watching this, and I was like, if this was a normal day, Happy Cool would be dead already, because like Flex gets the drop on him, right? You can see him like he takes altitude, he's like playing the cover better, so like because he's playing like over Happy Cool, if Happy drops, he has to drop way further than normal to get back out of Flex's LOS. So like Flex is setting himself up to assassinate Happy Cool right here, and he gets the positioning, he gets the drop on him, and then just misses all of his shots, which doesn't normally happen. Like, and they're close misses, but normally he hits these. He hits 1, and then on the ground they're just like pushing. They use the Reaper ult. We go for the barrage, but because like Flex hadn't actually forced Happy that far away, he ends up dying because of it. Like, what was happening on the ground while all this is going on? Where's the audio? Okay. I need to speed this up. Oh, it was the next fight. The baby D.Va. We could have staggered him a little bit more, I think. So this is what I want to look at now. I want to look at what's happening on the ground while that Pharah 1v1 happens. So here's what we say, right? We need to take like multiple angles. We want to play for the cart, I guess. So Buckle probably wants to play like way further back. And then as long as like maybe Pure can play in the rooms and stop the Reaper from flanking, just keep a hit on the Reaper, we should be fine. So Pure goes to the room. Buckle playing a bit close. Misses a hook. So both teams bongo. This bongo like placement is weird. Like he could have placed it like right here, and it would be way more difficult for them to break it. Like we only have one shield. It's not like where the team name's wrong. I don't know. It's just a little scuffed. At least it wasn't like that in this stream. It's just it's like a bug with the viewer or something like that. See, like they broke our shield so easily, and then because Half Equal wasn't shut out, this barrage gets no value, even though the pull was good. It demexed the D.Va, but that's it. And we nanoed, but I think it just didn't go off. Yeah, we nanoed, but it didn't actually get him. That's actually so unlucky. The timing on that nano was so unlucky. Here, I'll show you. Look at this. That would have actually won us that fight if he hadn't died. We should still win this, right? So they're rezzing, which is unfortunate, but it's like, what's Pure's hook at in 2 seconds? Like, we're going for a pull here. Like, we have so much stuff to follow up on pulls, and we just seem to... Well, I guess this pull maybe denies the res. I'm not sure. He's Valking, so... And we're Valking also. So, like, Liam runs away from Scally's LOS just to, like, try to stay alive for a little bit longer, but he could have just backed out, like, he's fortifying, play Scally's LOS, and he would have lived. And we have a bunch of picks. Like, they're only... Well, they're 5 now because they got a res. But we should still win this because their Reaper isn't alive. That's big unlucky. Yeah, that nano was couldn't have been more unlucky. That was actually so sad. So you can see like Liam's like running around and he's living for a long time because Mutes was Valking him, but Scally hasn't healed him once because he's out of LOS. Anyway, let's get back to the stream. So that's what happened that fight.
The barrage up and over, but Haftical takes down Fluxy as he goes for it. Still, Pure Irish on the
We get both their DPS. They res with shields because we're not breaking shield fast enough.
Pure Irish shutting down both of the DPS ults. You see the Valkyries being traded here, but Ireland, they're still in a good spot. It's more of can they get any value? Can they keep Liam alive?
Liam breaks LOS, so he dies.
They don't have the meat necessary. And when Sentry is coming back on the Reaper, it just means they don't have the dedicated health tools to stay on that point.
Payload presence been profiling with what they've been running, and now a late desperation swap. We're gonna see Liam off the Orisa onto the Rhine.
So Liam goes Rhine. I guess it kind of makes sense. Like he staggered himself. They come back as 6. Like the Reaper is back. We need some brawl on the point to like keep ourselves alive. So the Rhine is actually a pretty solid choice. You can't break a Rhine shield as quickly or easily as Orisa. So I actually like this pick.
Danger, almost take it down.
And also he just wanted to bust out the Rhine in World Cup.
Dragon Strike just to buy a bit of space. They look for Steel Dragons are gonna get him.
Another 2-man bomb. Like Mutes and Flex died to the bomb again. So how does this happen? Ryan always a good choice? Yeah. Of course. Not like Orisa is the most broken hero in the game. Shit's busted. Alright, let's see this bomb. So they pull first. They don't even like pull bomb. Nice hook. Not a bad whole hog. Here's the bomb. So how does Mutes die to this? Okay, what? That shouldn't have killed him. It looked to me like he was behind that.
Don't stop now.
Oh no. Like the replay viewer is kind of weird, but like he wasn't that far out. Like I don't know, it's just kind of buggy, so it's hard to tell. From his point of view, though, it looked like he was behind the pillar when we actually watched it. Yeah, it hasn't blown up yet. Like it's just a bugged. It's bugged. That I don't know if that should have killed him. I don't think that should have killed him. Like his big toe was showing or some shit. And then Flex dies. Let's go back a little bit. So. Oh no. So Flex tried to concussion blast into the room and just missed. So they both died to that. And then Pure was like whole hogging the Reaper, who just had Fade, and he didn't one-shot him with the hook. So the Reaper lives, comes back, and kills Pure, who was 1 HP. Oof. And then they res. Nice pin on the Diva, but Liam's gonna die. Breaking Scally LOS again. Scally's healing Buckle, so Liam dies as well. Nade gets eaten. So this fight's over. Let's hear what the caster said.
Oh, Dragon Strike, just to buy a bit of space. They look for Steel Dragons are gonna get him. But Vinci, the return! This is still winnable for Iceland.
Vinci just continuing to find so much value. Udark down though, you see the pin for Liam, but he's gonna get hunted down very quickly by Sindri. The DPS for Iceland are both alive. They're controlling the point. This Reaper with the Moira pocket means that there's no way to contest it. And Ireland, despite
unlucky. Like, first point we threw, like no denying. And then second point, they got a huge bomb. Third point, we kind of threw, like breaking LOS and stuff. And then that bomb, another huge bomb. Like, they had 5 minutes going into third, so bringing it down to 3, I guess, isn't horrible. But we should have done so much better. I remember Buckle telling me that he gave a big pep talk in between the rounds, and you can tell it actually worked, because I'm pretty sure we come out a lot stronger on attack here, but then we just lose one fight, and we just crumble again. Okay, so they're on the same comp, but they're on a Sigma now instead. They finally got off the Diva. Yeah, I don't know why they insisted on putting Republic of Ireland. I don't know. Like, I think it was like Great Britain or something, which is, I don't know what it was, but yeah, you're right, it should have just been Ireland. Apparently it'll be changed for next year. Yeah.
Composition, which means they have a lot of point presence here with the double shield with Sindri on the Reaper, so they can play close and they get pocketed.
Okay, so here's like the rollout, right? Let's go to the replay viewer for this. Okay. Okay, so it's the same concept, right? Whether on double shield or not, we want to like take as many angles as we can. So probably what's gonna happen is like Liam is gonna push. They don't even have Lucio, so like as long as Scally tracks the Reaper, we should be fine. But usually what happens is like Flex is gonna play around these rooftops, try to force the enemy Pharah back, and then look down and farm the enemy team, and then like if Flex is shooting the ground, then the Mercy has to be scouting the enemy Pharah. If Flex is shooting the enemy Pharah, then Mutes the Mercy has to be scouting the ground team. So like as he's like keeping the enemy Pharah out, Mutes will be like looking down in case the enemy ground team is like rotating or something. And they have to just like focus that. But and then in the meantime, like Liam and Pure will be pushing, shredding shield with Buckle. Scally's probably going to stay on the high ground. See, so Scally comes out high ground. The rest of us just come out low ground because we want to like shred shields. I don't know how Buckle gets that low, but Buckle should have gone out high ground if Scally was going to go high ground. We just shred these shields, force them back, and then get up on these two high grounds if possible, so that we can keep pushing them back. Alright, let's pause this.
By Doomy, and Happy's just going to be dueling FlexG here on the sides. And when this duel is happening, that means a lot of the spam presence is out. There's no ability.
So Flex isn't using the cover as well as he could be, but he still has altitude over Happy. So there's always like, he's giving away the cover advantage because Happy drops. So I think Flex wants to like press that advantage. So he's giving up his cover because of that. Like you see how low. You can tell Happy is not a Pharah player. Like look at it. Like I was complaining about Flex's booster management during the day, but Happy is just a lot worse. And Flex rolls him, so like, and like our pep talk or whatever that we had between the round definitely had an effect. And like we're shredding shield, which is forcing them back. So like you can see like our win conditions are starting to take place here.
Resurrection needs to camp the body for a little bit.
Flex actually does really well this fight. I want to watch this from his point of view. So, oh, we don't need to play half speed though. So he's pressing his advantage, keeping an eye on the ground team. See, so you see there exactly what I'm talking about, right? So if we go back a little bit, I didn't mean to leave first person. Let me go back a couple seconds. Where were you guys during the fire alarm? We weren't playing. We were out of the player area. We were already out of the competition by then. I don't know where I was. I think we had like gone out of the arena to get food or something, so we didn't even hear it. I heard it on the stream. That shit was hilarious. And apparently it was a test, like in the middle of the games. It was just like a practice alarm. It's just so funny. Midday. Yeah, we were gone by then. Anyway, what was I saying? So here's where you see like the advantage of oh no. I need to go back a little bit before Flex gets hit. So right. Flex is playing cover, but Happy drops. Like you can see Happy's on the ground right now. So Flex presses the advantage, so he leaves the cover to press like the height advantage, and you can see he's winning this right now. Like Happy's under pressure. So Happy uses both cooldowns just to get out of like from underneath Flex G. Hits Flex once as he's rising, but because Flex has like the advantage of cooldowns and he had the height advantage, he drops quickly to avoid getting hit again. So he like changes up his movement, and then uses his cooldowns to like goes back to cover and uses his cooldowns to like maintain his advantage. So he uses his booster to like regen his jet fuel and get back into like the height advantage. And then like Happy doesn't seem to realize that he's like at a disadvantage, so he keeps pressing. And then Flex eventually wins the fight. Yeah, we were like the first game of the day too, on the unluckiest bracket. Like it was just horrible. It was like we couldn't have gotten more unlucky. But I talked about it yesterday, but I'm not gonna go over that again. Anyway, so yeah, like you can see why Flex wins this. It's not just like, oh, who has better aim or whatever. There's actually a lot more depth into Pharaoh 1v1s that people don't seem to realize. And then he does really well by denying this res. So the Mercy calls, he honestly probably could have killed this Mercy instead of just booping her, but it's a nice boop. Boops her away, so he gets in between the Mercy and the res to boop her away from the res. If he booped her this way, the res would have still gone off, because the boop doesn't actually bring her far enough, and she probably would have been counter strafing also. So this is a really nice boop, if you know what I mean. So going back. So the body is here, so he puts his concussion in between the Mercy and the body, not on the other side of the Mercy, because that wouldn't work. Like that. That was huge. Now we're just cleaning up, right? Pure is on the flank. It looks like this is kind of a meme, but it's not. Like our whole win condition revolves around taking angles and forcing their Sigma to commit a shield. So if Pure is being a threat on the flank, the Sigma has to commit a shield to that. Likewise, if Flex is being a threat above, the Sigma has to commit a shield to that, which opens up Pure. You know? Happy just like has enough of the Pharaoh 1v1s and he switches to Widow. But let's go back to the stream. That was a really solid fight from us. Like we played that well.
Can't let the res come up and over.
And like look at even like you can see like this pull hook here, right? We shred the Orisa shield always. The Sigma commits shield to stop Pharah to like help the res happen because Flex is being a threat. As soon as the Sigma shield goes out, there's the Sigma shield, which means it's a free hook. So there's the hook. So like Pure is playing smart as well at the moment. This big brain.
They successfully camp Happy's body, and this is exactly the start that Ireland needed.
Great denial from Flex G. He's the one that opened up. He wins the Pharaoh duel. Happy staying on the ground a little too long, not able to really manage those fuel resources to stay up in the air, and then gets the concussive blast. Even though they saw Finzi send the shield over to stop that camp.
What emote is that, Jelly? Oh, that's the buckle emote, right? Buckle Monte? Yeah. I still need to make my emote. The Scropples Think one. I just don't know how. I'll have to like Google that. I'll do that in a minute. All right.
They were still able to get it off. They were still able to deny the res. And now Ireland, because of those picks there from FlexG from the pressure,
Quick
moving
swap.
here to last.
Happy's getting cheeky. He's gone to the Widow. Might not be known, and Flex G.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like when they're on Widow, it forces Flex to play way less aggressive, so he can't take like that really wide angle. But again, they have way less like upfront brawl damage. They go Lucio Widow, so they've just stopped. They don't want to take the Pharaoh 1v1s anymore. So Flex has to play way safer, but Pure Irish and Buckle can go way more aggressive to shut down their Widow. Amy said she would resize it for me and then just submit it. Okay, I need to like, I don't know like where to. I was trying to download it, but something was happening with my PC. I couldn't download it. I forgot about it. I'll do it afterwards. It's fine.
Could be taking a quick dirt nap here. Very curious to see what Happy does, but it's also dangerous. You need presence for the final part of point A. And we'll see if this Widow Gambit pays off.
I would say the Widow is a tough one to make work right now, ZP, unless Happy's able to get to the flank, because all FlexG.
So Flex is playing like on our side of the map. Like we can look at this. How does he kill the Reaper?
I'm taking care of you.
So yeah, you can see Flex is playing like way safer than he usually would because of the Pharah. Like that, he scouts the Pharah, repositions to break shields, just focusing on breaking shields now. So like it's kind of like you kind of switch, right? So like if Flex is playing this far back, then Buckle and Pure need to go more aggressive. So what I would like to see is probably like Buckle on this high ground, maybe like peeking wide coast to try to get an angle on the Widow, and then Pure can even like, depending on how close the Widow is, Pure can like go in and try to hook her as well. But how does he kill Reaper? Yeah, he just lands some nice shots on the Reaper. And they coalescence, but it's too late. Hits 2 shots on that. Okay, so this is where he pops off. I'm gonna play it on the stream first because this is a nice play.
Mutes have to do is just play around the tower, play around the geometry here.
And he's doing that at the moment. Takes down
We go for a
Sentry,
pull
6 on
dragon,
5 for
and we
Ireland.
only get the
More
tanks, so the
payload
tanks like
presence,
live.
Happy.
And then Pure like feeds. I don't know where he is actually.
At the moment, takes down Sentry, 6
Yeah, Pure's on the flank here, and he just feeds. I don't
on
know.
5 for Ireland.
He breaks Scally's LOS and gets coalescence.
A lot more payload presence and Happy yet to find a pick off here with Widow. Irish though, a little bit far, but Flex G directly on the
Huge
payload, drops the
barrage.
barrage, picks up 4.
So if we look at how that actually happened. I love the way he like boosts. He uses his rocket jump or whatever it's called, his jetpack cooldown, to get into position, and then barrage is like he cancels the booster with his barrage to like when he's in position, you know. Wait, pause. 0.5. So you'll see him either use his blaster or his booster. So he boosts in, bounces off the roof, and then cancels his momentum with the barrage, which is a really nice play. And he does that all the time, and it's so nice to see. 4K.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
4.
Rip the Reaper emote. The Death Blossom emote. Owl 2019 Death Spray. That's a limited time only emote. Cool. Damn it, Jelly, stop distracting me with emotes. I'm trying to VOD review.
Setting a good time of their own.
They died so quick they didn't have time to realize it. Yeah, we didn't nano him either. Yeah, like we would get plays like this a lot. Like you just shred shields, force out their cooldowns, and then pull barrage, and it's easy. And because there's so many like angles that they have to pay attention to, they can't deal with it, or they shouldn't be able to deal with it. But we just didn't play that well on the day. It's unfortunate.
Very smart moves from Ireland there. Flex G just waiting for the nano, waiting for the position. Once Iceland get close and have taken some damage, then he goes for the nano barrage
So I remember actually like yelling at the screen
over the top.
that we
And
need to
Happy's Widow just
like remember when we were talking about defense. Here, I'll grab this again. We were talking about defense, and we said like the most important place on the map for both teams is this piece right here, because this staircase gives you control over so much map control, because like you can stop the enemy team coming out the high ground, and then you just play the cover of the staircase to keep your healers safe, and the enemy team has to play on the low ground and try to walk around this corner, which means they're dealing with like high grounds and shit. That could have been the third point barrage, exactly. Like, he demeched the D.Va, so there was nothing to stop him. If he had been nanoed, we probably would have won that fight, like, way cleaner than we actually did. But, so I remember, like, as this is happening, I was screaming, like, take the stairs, take the stairs. Like, we see, like, Flex and Buckle are taking it, and I think Pure starts to take it. But I would even, like, it would have been okay to put, like, literally both tanks up there, put Scally up there, and have like Mute push the payload, like the Mercy can push while the Pharah just plays the cover. And if the Pharah gets in trouble, like if he gets pushed by something, like as long as he's playing cover, he can't get pushed, you know. So like putting Mutes on the payload here would have been really smart, but we don't do it, and we don't put enough emphasis on this high ground. That was a nice pull rock, or just a rock. So they just like they kind of like take this high ground for free, which is unfortunate.
Been able to deal with that because it's like Paris first in a way, where because of the geometry, because of the map design, there's no way for them to even hit a shot because Fluxy can just hide. He can't find him.
I think they were hoping that the surprise factor would be a little bit better, where maybe they're not looking at the hero screen, just focus on the objective, and Happy gets a quick pick off. It didn't.
So here, Pure gets the hook. You see this over here. He gets the hook on the Reaper because like it's stupid because now we only have like 2 people up here to contest this high ground. So Pure gets the hook. Buckle finishes him off.
And Buckle strikes it.
Buckle gets the credit for the kill.
Again, finds Sindri. And this is.
And then like, what is this pull even like for? Because Pure can't hook it. I don't know what it's for.
Exactly what Ireland has needed.
And like, we don't have any space now. Like, how do we get? We have 1 kill, which is good, but we don't have any ults. So like, how do we actually push into this?
It's their style of play. It's what's been working for them. And Iceland in some real trouble.
Dropping the Gravitic Flux here.
Pure dies again because he got Sigma ulted.
Moving forward, taking Pure Irish out of the fight. Still trying to own this space. Happy playing behind the shield. And now Ireland without Pure Irish.
Did Scally cancel that? With Sleep Dart? I think he might have. Oh, that's why Liam pulled, because we had a nade and he wanted to follow up. Wait, I wasn't paying attention, I missed that. Yo, Lectix, thanks for the follow. No, he didn't, So the Sigma ult went off, I believe. No, so, Pure... No, it still went off. I thought Pure cancelled it with the hook, but he didn't. So Pure dies because of that. Okay. And because we didn't take any space, we're just gonna lose this.
They don't have a lot of help on the point. They're just looking for the pick. They're playing slow, but they can't really play slow into the Superchargers EP. They need to back up.
They're backing up right now. Happy though, going even deeper. Lands flashbang, gets down Buckle, but it comes at a cost.
This is still fine though for Iceland. They're chasing. They're getting some stagger kills, getting some extra presence. They need to make sure not to lose anyone here to Flex G.
Pure almost hooks the Sigma off the map here, actually. Right here. You can see he like goes for it, but the Sigma doesn't like pop over the railing. If he had got this kill, that would have been huge.
This is still fine though for Iceland. They're chasing. They're getting some stagger kills, getting some extra presence. They need to make sure not to lose anyone here to Flex G. Flex G getting a lot of damage. They have to back up. They need to back up. They can't lose anyone. They won't. And Happy will just gonna get taxied back. Blue Dark gonna go right, bring it back. Gonna bring it back in the fight. They have double support for the next fight for Iceland. I imagine they're gonna try to be just as aggressive as before. Ireland though, with the Supercharger, with the barrage, they have some openings. They have a way to break open this next fight, but they have to be careful to not get Iceland.
And we're just gonna end up stuck here for a long time now because they keep cycling their ults. They have way better cover, and we're just gonna have problems getting through this choke point.
They open up at the feet.
Like Scally is way too close here. We should never have been that close, and we should have gone for the high ground again, at least like just to get some of us up there.
They have to be careful to not get Iceland, especially Flex G.
And Iceland, they just had to be aggressive. They open up at the feet. They move forward, and they just.
And the McCree's just flanking because we never took the high ground. Like that's our own fault.
Over Scally to start the fight. A little bit of extra aggression. I think it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
And Happy's gone for the flank here behind, making sure that while they move forward, Happy is there just to sandwich. It's another fight, a very aggressive beat from Iceland. And Ireland, though, they did also use the barrage. They tried to use the barrage.
So like,
Well, you can just kill that.
this is what I mean, right?
For
They're
Ireland
just
to
playing
break.
high ground. Like, all we have to do, like, if they're up here, we play way slower. Like, we're not a death ball comp. We take our angles, like, let Flex fly over coast. We break the shields, force them off of this high ground. But we just never do that.
Open,
We
that's
just
tough
try to
do.
cross,
What
so
they
this
pull
is just a
left
free
of,
kill.
You can just kill that Bongo.
Like, why are we all on the bridge? It doesn't make sense.
Happy goes for the quick Deadeye, gets 3. Not something you see very often, but the execution sublime. And Ireland, they had a really good time bank of Asp, but slowly but surely, it's getting chipped away. And don't forget, they need to finish with a good amount of time remaining if they want to be realistic about their odds of turning this around. So things are starting to get dire.
Yesterday, I was explaining in one of the team pictures, there was something I pointed out what happened. Yeah, I think it's coming up. It hasn't happened yet. I think it's the fight after this one. I think we win this fight.
You see now Pure Irish has made the swap onto the Sigma, finally said, okay, enough's enough, we need to stop the flank from happening.
So Boko gets the pick on Happy Cool, because I think we finally decided to focus the high ground.
He needs a way to deny, but Happy getting...
Actually, I want to see how he gets that kill. So it's after the high noon. What is this one? Yeah, right here. Ooh, that was a nice shot. Hanzo's not RNG, by the way. Perfectly balanced hero. What's this? Ooh, okay, that was a nice shot, actually. That was really good. Did we scrim Team UK? Nah, I don't think they scrimmed that often, to be honest. And they were probably scrimming like the other, like Team USA, Team South Korea, teams like that. Canada, France. Biggest team we scrimmed is France. Yeah, we scrimmed France a bunch of times. We actually did really well against them. That was before they made changes to their roster, though. Anyway, that was a nice kill from Buckle. That was really good.
Getting picked by Buckle very early.
The Ireland special, Buckle, giving life to Ireland once more, and this means the gates are open for Flex G.
So this is the exact moment that I was talking about. They give us all the space, so we need to make sure that we can like have control over this area of the map and even this area of the map, right? So what's gonna happen? What should have happened was he's not in cover here, so as soon as the McCree comes back, it's gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel from the McCree. He can just stand like over here, or he can stand in the window or something. So the only way like we win this fight is if Flex pushes up and plays the cover of the rooftops. So if he's like playing over here, I'll use the replay viewer. Next couple of seconds. So like Flex needs to push up so that he's like playing like this cover, right? How did we still did they never played Pharah. We played Pharah quite a bit, but they still played Doom Reaper, and we were kind of like we farmed a lot of teams with our Pharah comp. Especially when they were all still playing meta, and like our Doom Reaper wasn't bad, but like if we wanted to beat countries like France or Team UK, it wasn't going to be with our Doom Reaper, it was going to be with this comp. And the reason we lost to Iceland is because they knew exactly what we were going to do, because we had scrimmed them like 5 times in 2 weeks leading up to the World Cup, which is like, I can't, 40 countries in the World Cup and we get the one country that we've been scrimming. I actually can't believe it. But anyway. So what should have happened, and the video that I was talking about is me and Liam discussing exactly this exact moment, like the day before our actual match. So Flex should have played this high ground, which means for their Reaper to get, or for their McCree to get value, he has to walk out and then turn around and look up to actually. And then again, like if Flex is playing cover properly, he's never going to be able to kill him. And then as that's happening, like the only place he can get an angle on Flex is if he runs like all the way over here, right? So Pure, understanding that, it's his job to shut down the McCree, should have known that that's what the McCree was going to do, and he should have pushed out and played on the boats. So that way, when the McCree takes a wide angle to try to find Flex, who should be over here, playing around the rooftops, Pure would be on boats and he can just kill him. Or at least shut him down if he's not going to kill him. And then like as they're turned around looking up at our Pharah, then we're just then the rest of us, so our Hanzo and our Sigma and our Ana, are just farming the rest of their team. And if they don't look at our Pharah, if they just commit onto, let's say, Pure Irish, who's on the boats, then Flex just farms them and kills them from behind. And that's like the basic concepts of our comps. Is like finding the positions where we can take multiple angles and maximize like the value of our threats. But it didn't work out like that. We didn't do that. And I remember specifically yelling at the screen at this exact moment to say like, push up, play the roofs.
Does not have to worry about a whole lot
And we just don't do it.
pressure. Iceland needs to respect it. They're backing out, but this is gonna get Ireland around the corner.
Iceland's just waiting to taxi back Happy. Happy's gonna be back very soon.
And so they bongo, or we bongo, they coalescence our pharmacy, and we have no cover. There's nowhere to retreat to. Yeah, well, like Pure has to see that coming. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna be like over on the edge. Like he's not an idiot. You know? Like he's not gonna allow them to run up and still stand here. Like as soon as he sees them pushing him, he's gonna fall back. Like he's just gonna make a beeline back as far away from the enemy team as he can. So like there's like that's his job on the off tank, is like to play as close as he can, but know that if he's going to get run over, he has to make space for his team by retreating. So they would chase Pure, which means he would run away, so that Buckle and Flex can get value and land more damage.
There's the coalescence used.
Like he knows that if he goes ghost, he's gonna be at a risk of getting booped, and he just has to keep an eye out for that.
Dragon as well. Can they find anyone? Flex G getting rocked.
And so we didn't take any space, so we were all clumped on top of each other. We all shot from the same angle. Like if you look at the angles we have right here, Pure and Buckle or Flex and Buckle are basically right next to each other, and then Pure is just on the ground right here. So we're all shooting from the same angle. So double shield just shuts down all three angles, which is unfortunate. Flex boop. Oh, Flex will boop. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point too. So they wouldn't even be able to boop Pure. That's actually a really good point. I didn't even think of that. And we just didn't. We were so scared. We just didn't take the angles that we needed to.
Invested the Dragon as well. Can they find anyone? Flex G getting rocked.
Flex G in danger. Sindri right to the back. Takes down 4.
Refo, thanks for the follow. How you doing? Yeah, that's Giga Brain.
Blossom right into the heart of Ireland, and they're going to be giving up the territory they just gained.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was the end right there. Right, we worked like at least now we know that we need to like take high ground and go through the steps, but that took so long to take over that area of the map, and then we just gave it up for free that we're kind of throwing.
Beautiful from Iceland there. They use the coalescence to try to remove those cooldowns early, and then the Hulk comes out from Steel Dragons and the Deathball from Sindri.
And you can see how boomed we are after that because we switch our comp. And like we never win now. There's 2 minutes left, but they have this massive. Okay, they have McCree, so maybe we win. But if they switch their McCree right now to Doomfist, it's over because they have such a huge ult advantage. They can just like Sigma ult us this fight, and we don't have beat, and then they'll have like maybe 3 ults in the next fight. But maybe it's not as bad as it could have been. Like maybe we can turn this around. But we have to take high ground, which is going to take a while, and then we're just going to get Sig ulted. It's going to be like down to the last minute after that.
Very well played from Iceland. They've retaken their position. Happy is back. They're going to have Gravitic Flux. And now Ireland, they made the swap. Flex G to Doom, Buckle to Reaper. And they're hoping that they're just going to mirror match it. Or not even mirror match because Happy's still on that McCree.
Because Happy's on the McCree, I prefer our comp. But they have ult advantage.
Zone here for Ireland. Only a minute 30.
And as well, like, this area of the map is so good in Deathball versus Deathball. This is probably one of the toughest points on any map to try to retake if the enemy team knows how to play it properly.
Left. This is single elimination. Their journey could be over.
So here we go, but we have no off angles, right? So all of our damage is just going to hit the Orisa.
Over the top, taking the high ground. The Flux is out. Iceland just backing.
There's their Sig ult. We actually killed the Orisa, which is interesting.
5 on 5. Iceland, though, fighting back, pushing back. Ireland contesting the high ground. Flex G in now on the Doomfist.
We actually did well. Like, Buckle died, which was unfortunate. Should have gone Sim Bastion. Fuck's sake. But we actually did well. Like, we lost Buckle, which is bad, but we traded with their Orisa. So if we can stabilize, we potentially win this if Flex can get value.
And Iceland being a little bit conservative.
Iceland can play conservative right now because, look, they can just wait for the beat. They can wait for the beat. They can wait for the cold. They're going to have that double support ult very soon.
Oof. Okay, so where was Pure... what was Pure shielding? So the basic concept of, like, in Deathball is, like, the Sigma has to... the Sigma has to shield the Doomfist when he's punching in alone like that. If the Orisa's not in, which wasn't the case in this situation, so after, yeah, there's a couple seconds on from this. So right here. Oh, he doesn't have a shield. So he needs a shield now. Like when we pull punch and Flex goes this deep, like look at where his tanks are. Flex goes all the way in. So if we're not shielding that, then he's gonna die. His shield breaks, and then we go for this pull punch. So it's just a feed. And like, yeah, we coalesced, but we don't have the shield to back him up, so it's not actually as good as it could have been.
Fluxy down. He was going for the hero play, ends up getting caught. And Ireland down to their final minute as Iceland looking very strong here on point B.
Good flashbang from Happy, just finding Fluxy went a little too far. Happy goals McCree has been definitely a difference maker for Iceland so far here on Rialto.
What was that? Matt Buckle missed 5 shots. That was Hollywood. He missed like 5 shots on a Moira, who was the only one left. But actually, yeah, he was pretty mad about that. That was it actually worked out because the Moira faded away and he staggered her. But that was pretty funny.
So it's gonna be last fight territory. ZP coming in. Look at the Ireland ult bank. It's very small, almost none. And Iceland are looking a much healthier.
And now we just don't go high ground. I don't understand. Like, we're asking to get farmed.
It's sort of ult economy here.
And Ireland, they're running the Doom Reaper. They don't have the Hanzo threat they had before. They're gonna have to win this off the meta and hope it works out. Final 24 seconds. Iceland completely stacked on.
This is a nice Sig ult. So we pull Sig ult, they respond with Coalescence, and that's it, right? We've lost. Because we pull Sig ult, they have Bongo Coalescence, so we're already down an advantage. And then they're just gonna maybe use High Noon or use their own Sig ult or their own beat. Like, they have so many ults that there's no way we win this. Moira super slippery? Yeah, true.
And ultimates. The Flux from Ireland.
So they beat Bongo and Coalescence just to counter our Sig ult, so we're just gonna lose.
It's our one and only hope. They're looking for it. Happy unable to finish off the pickup.
We actually trade Moiras, but there's no way we win this.
Deadeye used in the back, takes down 2, and that's gonna be it. Iceland will be defeating Ireland here on Rialto. It's a 3-0, and they've secured their date with the UK.
Nice McCree Happy. We can all say it. It is nice McCree Happy. Nice shot Happy. Happy cool actually being the difference maker there on the McCree.
I love the way he says that, like Happy is terrible.
DPS, we've gone back in time, CP.
It might not be the World
I mean,
Cup
he is an
story
off-tank player, so.
that we wanted, but I think it's the Overwatch World Cup story that we needed. The return of Hafikul to DPS.
Everyone was waiting for it. He may have been the second best diva in Iceland, but he is the best McCree in Iceland, apparently.
And that's it. That was it. Pepe hands. That was over. And it's funny because like I walked into the room afterwards, and like everyone was like, we were all like really, really sad or whatever, and I was just like, it's okay, guys. We got unlucky, you know. Like we couldn't have got more unlucky. Like it actually was legit pretty unlucky with the matchup that we got or whatever. And then we were all like packing up our stuff and like consoling each other or whatever. And then I was like, oh guys, try not to fanboy too hard when you walk outside. And they were like, whoa, why? And I was like, just go look who's outside. And they walk out and there's like Team South Korea, Team UK, Team USA and Team Canada are all just like sitting on the tables just around us. They're like, oh shit. And so like they come out and they're like, oh, let's get some pictures and stuff, you know. It was pretty funny. There was a nice picture as well of us with Team Iceland afterwards that we took. I don't know where that is though. I saw that somewhere. I think it might be on like Twitter or something. I didn't see that one yesterday, Andy. I don't know if you sent it to me or not. Drinks now, lads? Yeah, exactly. That was the day we went bowling. Just